Kiev's skies erupted in chaos on August 28, 2025 as Russia launched its largest aerial assault of the month. Nearly 600 drones and decoys overwhelming defenses. The attack killed over 20 civilians, shattering homes and hope and underscoring the brutal reality that violence, not diplomacy, still dominates Ukraine. As world leaders, including former President Trump, push for peace, Russia's actions on the ground tell a different story. Putin's escalation, under the guise of negotiations, exposes a stark disconnect between diplomatic talk and military aggression. The UN Security Council rushed to convene, alarmed by Russia's blatant defiance and the threat it poses to the peace process. For Ukrainians, these diplomatic efforts offer little comfort. The human cost mounts daily as politicians debate. Their resilience is extraordinary, but their endurance is being pushed to the brink. The world watches, questioning whether diplomacy is a lifeline or just prolonging Ukraine's suffering. In Anchorage, Alaska, Trump and Putin met on August 15, 2025, touting the summit as a breakthrough for peace in Ukraine. Trump declared success, but no ceasefire was agreed upon, and Russian attacks only intensified afterward. Critics questioned whether the meeting was genuine diplomacy or a stage-managed ploy by Putin to buy time. Trump's decision to meet without preconditions, after threatening sanctions, handed Putin legitimacy and time while Ukraine suffered. Days later, Trump met Zelensky and floated a peace plan that alarmed Kyiv, cede Crimea to Russia, and abandon NATO ambitions. These proposals echoed Russia's demands, pressuring Ukraine to make painful concessions. The summit's optics masked a reality where Russia gained ground and Ukraine faced mounting pressure. The so-called breakthrough left Ukraine's future more uncertain than ever. Trump's strategy hinged on economic threats. He warned Moscow of severe tariffs if no peace deal was reached within 50 days. The deadline was then shortened, but when it expired on August 8, no sanctions followed. Instead, Trump pivoted to personal diplomacy, meeting Putin in Anchorage just a week later. Critics argue this undermined U.S. leverage, as threats without action emboldened Putin. The White House defends its approach, claiming direct talks are more effective than sanctions. Yet, the delay gave Russia time to escalate attacks, weakening the pressure Trump sought to create. The administration insists progress is being made, but skepticism grows as violence continues. The credibility of U.S. threats and the fate of Ukraine hangs in the balance. Experts agree, Putin is using diplomacy as a smokescreen while intensifying his assault on Ukraine. Representative Don Bacon bluntly stated that Putin is stringing Trump along, using talks to buy time for more bombing. Former Ambassador Michael McFaul warned that Putin's escalation after the Alaska summit mocks U.S. efforts. Analysts see Putin's dual strategy feign cooperation to divide the West while pursuing military gains. Stephen Pfeiffer argues Putin won't negotiate seriously until he's convinced he can't win on the battlefield. The talks, then, are a tactic to relieve pressure, not a path to peace. Think tanks note Putin's engagement with Trump shifts blame onto Ukraine, pressuring it to accept Russian terms. Peter Ruff adds that Putin is content to let the war grind on, using peace talks to push the U.S. to pressure Ukraine. The diplomatic theater masks a relentless campaign for Russian advantage. The peace process is stalled by Russia's unyielding demands. Ukraine must remain neutral and abandon NATO ambitions. Moscow insists on formal recognition of Crimea as Russian, and control over occupied territories in the east and south. For Ukraine, ceding land is unthinkable. It would legitimize aggression and set a dangerous precedent. Russia resists real negotiations, demanding Ukraine accept terms before any trilateral summit. This approach reduces Ukraine to a bystander, forced to ratify a deal dictated by Moscow. Putin bets he can outlast Western support, hoping Trump will pressure Ukraine to concede. The US and its allies face a test support Ukraine's sovereignty, or risk rewarding aggression for the illusion of peace. The stakes are nothing less than the future of Ukraine, and the credibility of the West.